sensible is it taking us where we need to go as a people? I think in this area, we have seen an economy that has lost jobs, an economy that has raised taxes to an extraordinarily high level, an economy that has allowed our production in agriculture to go virtually to zero, an economy that has seen the extraordinary prices of foods that we face every day, and fuels and utilities, and our main assets virtually going nowhere. So we as a party, United Workers' Party, have said to the nation that we think that the way forward is a clean and green program for Dominica. We think that now is the time. We think that any action in regard to that must start now. We think that for many decades, Dominica has enjoyed a reputation of being Nature Island and Green Island of the world, of the region. And this was way back in the 60s that this description was put to Dominica. We were way ahead of our time when we first came out with this concept. And there have been a number of organizations and activities in the rest of the world that has suggested that this green option for development was in fact a viable option. But some time has passed. Although we were ahead of our time when we came out with the concept of a green island, it is not too late now to seek to go forward. The Head Start advantage is not at all lost. We think that the building of a green economy is now no longer just an option. We think it is an absolute necessity. When we talk about a clean and green program for Dominica, we talk about clean, meaning our behavior, our attitudes, our sense of peace and honesty, our sense of real unity, our sense of discipline in our country. We talk about a corruption-free country. We talk about, when you hear about a clean bill of health, what does that mean? A clean bill of health. We think that all of us understand that on a very personal level. I think we should understand it too on a national level, because health and wellness clearly is an essential component of each and every one of us here tonight, and is an important component of our country's future, a component that is going to do us well if we, in fact, are committed to it. A green economy, we think, will go through many phases. First of all, it must start with a commitment to it. We have talked about it, we have written about it, but a real and full commitment has not been demonstrated. We think it will be a process. We're not talking about an overnight process, we're talking about a phased process, a transition from what we have right now to something much better, and something that fully utilizes the God-given resources that we have in such abundance. We will detail this in much more specific form in our manifesto, in the documents that we as a party will be putting forward. But we think that the drivers of that economy will be water. We think the drivers of that economy will also be geothermal, that Brother Washway referred to. We think that it will be agro-processing, and we had an outstanding discussion today with a young entrepreneur of Dominica, a young man who hails from Dalis, as a matter of fact, a son of a former Minister of Agriculture who is involved in some outstanding agro-processing work, operating out of Dominica, servicing some 600 supermarkets in the United States with products that we produce in Dominica, with products that come out of our raw materials that are here and in other islands of the region. He has pioneered the work, and it is from people like him we must take example as we seek to go forward. So this evening, I don't know how much time I have again, 2 more minutes. I wanted to talk in some detail about the question of agriculture, because I think the base of our future in a green economy is agriculture, and that we must move in a very meaningful way to put in place the mechanisms that would allow for the transition of agriculture back to a state whereby we can be assured that it produces the food and produces the production that we know we are capable of. We believe that there should be put in place an agricultural commission comprising representatives of all the major organizations and groups with a role in that sector, and this will be the main policy formulation and advisory body for the sector with direct access to the minister who will chair the commission. We believe that the public sector and private sector agencies and organizations that interact with the farming and rural population will be strongly represented to ensure that a synchronized and integrated response to the needs of the people of the rural areas and rural farming sectors is possible. We think that the agricultural stations in the various districts of the country will be restored, and that we will put in place what we will now call full service resource centers. You probably realize that many of those agricultural stations have gone to naught. I can say with personal experience that the so-called agricultural training center in La Plaine is more the political center for the Dominican Labour Party in La Plaine, as opposed to really delivering the kind of full service resources to our farmers in the area of information, technology, training, financing, marketing, and other important services that the producers require. So this is just a few points as I articulate a little bit of what we mean by greening the agricultural sector. I think time is probably up. There will be lots of opportunity, I hope, for further interaction and detailing of what is meant. And I think this is an important part of going forward, that you must insist upon the details, and as we talk to each other and with each other, I think we can find a way to ensure that Dominica goes forward in the way that we all know that we entrusted power by political leaders for private gain with the objective of increasing power or wealth. And I just wanted to say that for us, the two actions that have been taken already in regard to our commitment to integrity is, number one, I have declared my asset, and I believe all leaders of the country should declare their asset. And number two, we have made it clear that one of the actions that we will take is to amend the Integrity in Public Office Act to take the scope of the Act back to 1995.